Good morning, everybody. This is your boy D Mac, and I just couldn't sleep tonight. I've been up and just having a whole lot of thoughts running through my mind. There's a lot of death going on, and this is nothing out of the ordinary, unfortunately, but at the same time, this just has me up and thinking a lot because I was going through just some random thoughts that popped into my head, and I really got an interesting concept out of it, and I just wanted to run it by the congregation real quick. So, back in the 80s, 90s, and so on and so forth, when crack first hit the black community, there was it just ravaged the black community, and it instantly, you could see the shift from a progressive community to a down, degraded, depleted community. And the children that you're seeing coming up now are the product of those generation that generation, because you, like I said, you go from 80s, 90s, 2000s. So children that were born in the 2000s are basically a product of those people who had to endure the crack era. And a lot of those people who had to endure the crack era and was out there on drugs and stuff like that, who got caught up in it, their children oftentimes hate drugs. So we're seeing a lot of children during my time, or actually my children's time, who hate drugs, who absolutely can't stand cocaine and stuff like that, hard drugs, because they saw what those drugs did to people that was close to them and people that they loved. And so you have produced a generation of children who hates cocaine by all rights and intents. They're the ones who become the substance abuse counselors. They're the ones who go into the mental health field and different areas like that, because it's something that's near and dear to their heart, and they're going to work wholeheartedly in that area because they are motivated by their loved one who's suffering in that area. That's gonna be the most of the times, if you talk to these people, you're gonna find that that's their motivation. Somebody that they love, they lost to an overdose. Somebody that they love is struggling right now. Those are the typical stories that you're gonna run across with people that's in the age range of about, I'll say, uh 26 to about 30, 32, 33, 34. So from 26 to about 34, that's the story you're generally going to get from somebody who works in the field of substance abuse or anything like that. It's because they have family members, or they witnessed some things and lost some people to drugs, and because of crack cocaine to be specific, and they hate it. And so now I look at the generation that has come now, that has been produced by those people, or well, no, I won't say, because you say about 25 to 32. So that means that their kids would be still young. So the teenagers at this time, that's the ones that I'm trying to get to. The teenagers at this time are a product of, or are the, no, wow, I done messed my whole thing up. It's too early and too late at the same time. So basically, the point that I was trying to get to, let me properly articulate this for everybody and get it right. So the next generation coming up, will they have a hatred for drill music the way that this last generation of 26 to about 32 had for crack cocaine? Because drill music is taking out these artists at the rate that crack cocaine did when it hit back in the early 80s. So I'm anticipating we're going to see a great decline in rap music, specifically the drill music genre, subgenre. And these kids are going to fight very hard to stop rap music because they're going to lump all rap music in together with drill music, and it's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a real heavy opposition, and it's going to divide a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people. If you think that the black community is already divided, wait until this clash happens, and you're really going to see the black community divided, because now you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a choice between music and the betterment of the community, because let's all be honest, drill music is not good for the community at all. In no way, shape, or form is drill music good for the black community, period. There's no argument you can give for it. Well, if they make money as a drill rapper, they can get out of the community. Who? All of these rappers are dying right in their community, right in their community. Even if they do move out of their community, if they come back, look at Young Dolph. Came back to his community, come back to show love, get murked. Same thing with many of these artists. So it comes down to this right here. I had to take a second so I can calculate what I'm going to say next, because I really don't want to uh, have anyone confused on what message I'm trying to bring forth. So, this music is leaving a lot of children without fathers and mothers. Rest in peace to Young Thug's baby mama, for lack of a better term. And now their father is gone because Young Thug is looking at all of this time in prison. So, are we going to have a generation of children who have deep anger and resentment towards what took their parent away from them, which was the drill music scene? Are they going to blame it on the drugs, or are they going to blame it on the music? Because the drugs, they're not out here killing each other over drugs and stuff. They're killing each other over the music. They're killing each other over the reputation of being hard. It ain't got nothing to do with the drugs. And so my question is, and what I'm just wondering is this now going to produce a generation of children who's going to hate the music? And is this ultimately going to be the death of hip hop? Because the youth are the one who determines if the music is going to carry on. And so if the youth begin to hate hip hop as a whole because of one subgenre and what it did to their parents, then we could ultimately be seeing the death of hip hop as we know it. Wow, that's a hard concept to swallow, and I'm interested to see this play out. I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that this is not a death blow to hip hop, but I kind of feel like it is. You see other genres that were at the top. When they were at the top, it was because they had thrown away all morality and all sense of decency, and they allowed themselves to be open up to all types of demonic activity and so forth and so on. And so ain't nothing for the enemy to take you up to the mountaintop and show you all the riches that he can give you, because he knows that you're not going to be up there very long, and you're not going to stay around long enough to spend it. And so he's going to get it right back and offer it to the next fool who's willing to take the deal. But that's just how the game goes. Y'all dudes better get wise in this hip hop game, because you can potentially go out there and lose your life over wanting to have attention and acceptance from other people. You risk your life for acceptance. I don't want that type of acceptance. If I have to risk my life for acceptance, then that means that there's somebody out there who does not accept me just as much as the people who are willing to accept me. And the people who are willing to accept me are accepting my persona. They're not really accepting me for who I really am. So, yeah, that's a raw deal. I'm not going to take that deal. But there's a lot of more. There's a line wrapped around the daggone building of people who just wait for their opportunity to be the next star. And it doesn't matter if their life is in jeopardy at every turn. They're willing to take that chance because they're out here going through the same circumstances and situations in the streets for a whole lot less. So what do they have to lose? I feel for my young nation, man. I feel for the generations coming up who are going to be subject to this. But maybe there's going to be some good that comes out of it, just like there was some substance abuse counselors that came out of the crack epidemic. There was some children who, by any means necessary, are going to say no to drugs because of what came out of the crack epidemic. So there was some good that did come out of it. And so with this, I'm anticipating some good to come out of it as well. So this is going to produce some children who are going to begin to hold a standard and begin to be truthful and candid and honest about the realities of life instead of projecting a fabricated image to people. Maybe that's going to force artists to stop leading people down the wrong path that they're not really going themselves. So it's like the blind is leading the blind into a ditch, but when y'all put y'all blindfolds on, he take his off, and he tell you to just hold on to each other's shoulder, and he'll get you right there. And right when you get to the ditch, he's gonna break off and allow the rest of y'all to fall into the ditch. That's exactly what is going on in the hip hop. Well, not even just hip hop, in the whole entertainment industry, period. That's the tactic, that's the maneuver, and people continually falling for it, continually getting in the line so that you put your hand on that shoulder and be led to the ditch. But some of us learn by watching other people's mistakes, and some of us learn by having to go through the experience ourselves. And so, whatever lane you're in, man, I'm praying for you, and I'm hoping that you come out on the other side a better person, as opposed to coming out on the other side more damaged and broken than you were before. But that's all going to be determined by your attitude and how strong you are and how willing you are to deal with it instead of avoiding it. And so it's interesting. Like I said, this is going to be something interesting to sit back and watch and see what type of people are developed out of this reckless and destructive era of music that we're being witness to right now. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Try to catch me a couple hours of sleep or something. But this is your boy D Mac. That was my last thought that I have for tonight. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.